But it's getting tough now. So we've done it for 3 years.
Let's talk about that. How have you been able to make a living, to get paid, while you have been in Nomad mode here?
Yeah, so I guess that it pains me to say this, but it's called digital nomad. And, I think it's become a bit more of a buzzword these days. And
I've never heard it.
But
there's a lot of stuff I haven't heard. So.
Yeah, so in the industry, it's quite a new trend, setting career, digital nomad. So I guess online coaching has helped me a lot. Obviously, I try and write as much as I can, which we'll get into. But I've been trying to produce as much content for the website, for Starting Strength. And also the other thing is whenever I'm in a city where I can play nice with the gym owners and there's like local clients in town, I can maybe get some personal training or do lifting camps. So I've done lifting camps all over. I've done lifting camps in Toronto, like Canada, and different parts of Europe like Sweden and Norway and Germany and all places. So I've tried to do lifting camps as well. But also, like I say, from a travel perspective, we've kept our finances quite minimal.
Yes.
And
you have to learn to not waste money.
Yeah.
You're not on vacation.
No. And that's
it's
what
like
people
a whole different mindset.
That's what people struggle with understanding, because they think that we're just on a 3-year holiday. When's the holiday over? And it's like, well, we're actually kind of living places. So we'll go to the supermarket and do normal day-to-day stuff just like everyone else. It just means that on our off days we go to a concert in Prague and see like an amazing pianist in a beautiful old like opera house, or we'll go to an incredible museum, or an old horrible Auschwitz
sounds
thing.
Educational.
It is, yeah. So again, Caroline is the main driver of anything cultural I do as well. There's a theme here.
It's good to have her.
Yeah, she's good.
Because you get more out of this as a result of her work on that other end of it.
Yeah, I think
than you would otherwise.
Yeah, so that's been a big thing, is a lot of these gyms were kind of researched in advance, and I usually lean towards the kind of strength powerlifting style gyms, but I do like the weightlifting stuff, so sometimes I sacrifice weightlifting because not all of them you can use weightlifting stuff, but that's another thing.
Right.
So yeah, there's some other gyms I want to make an honorable mention to. So in the Czech Republic, in Prague, I was at Iron Base. So that gym's really special to me because that was the first place I pressed 150 kilos. I got a bit excited, I got a bit lightheaded, and I dropped the bar. So technically it don't count, but I was fucking ecstatic about it. So to me, that was a big moment. I just came from France, in Montpellier, the south of France, and I was training at a gym called La Forge. So that was a really sweet team of French powerlifters. That was cool. Shout out to Scotland. I was in Edinburgh.
French powerlifters.
French powerlifters, yeah.
Now think about that, guys.
Here we go.
Had you ever considered that there might even be powerlifters in France? It never occurred to me that would have ever happened.
Well, TRT is a thing now, so they can just get the testosterone shipped to them.
Yeah.
So the other thing,
that'd be helpful. Yeah.
So the other thing that's really funny about traveling in different gyms is every culture has a different cue. Mm-hmm. So in Sparta, in Estonia, whenever they're building up for a big deadlift, they go like leponi, 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 which means like strong. And then in Italian, they normally say something like spingi, spingi, which means like push. So some of the cues you'll hear over and over again. And in France, the one that they always say is allez, 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 allez. So that's
which
quite
means
funny.
What?
I think it's like go. I think, yeah, come on. Or they say encore, allez, encore. Another. So each powerlifting crew, they've got their own like little buzzwords. So you end up with a whole list of like powerlifting vocabulary in different languages.
All right. Well, that's an interesting point to bring. in the course of all of this travel, how many languages have you become familiar enough with to not speak fluently, obviously, but to be able to use when talking to the locals? None. Is English that prevalent?
It's probably the only place I've really struggled with is Argentina, and the same happened when I was a youngster and I went to Brazil. You need to get by and know a couple of things. So, for example, I learned this the hard way when I was in Brazil. I was walking down Ipanema Beach and I was literally like dying of thirst, and I went to one of the little cabana houses where they sold fluid and liquid and refreshments and stuff. And I basically was trying to say like water, and someone behind me said agua mineral. I was like, thank you, agua mineral. So in those countries, South America, you will struggle. Like I would definitely, if I had to relive this life all over again, I've kind of blagged my way with English and just being, I guess, charismatic enough to kind of get away with it. And also, I guess, because of my look, I always blend in. I don't really like, people can kind of think I'm Brazilian or they're South American or something, or they could think I'm Italian or this and that. Like, I kind of don't have that look where I just look like a tourist, I guess. But nowadays, most countries, you'll be okay. I would rather, if I had to pick, I would rather learn Italian just because I love the language. It's just such a beautiful language. But the one, if I was to relive this life all over again, I would really learn Spanish. That one's by far the most useful, because in South America...
Well, it's spoken all over the world, and it's,
Yeah.
it's probably the most useful foreign language that you could speak in the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah. So
But I would imagine you run into Spanish speakers in Europe and Asia as well.
Yeah, and so next year we're actually going to Japan and South Korea, and the same effect is going to happen. Like Japan, they just don't speak English. I think they're getting a little better, but it's just, in a place like that, there's just not much English spoken.
You won't have any trouble in South Korea.
No?
No, there's most of them have some English.
Okay, but in Japan, I've heard it's pretty, like, no.
Yeah, that could very well be.
But it's going to be fun. But, like, Caroline, however, again, because part of her job is translating different languages. So she does Danish, German, Norwegian, a bit of Swedish. So she is actually really good. Normally, again, it's like daily stuff. So the common things which happen in day-to-day life for us is like ordering a coffee, or if they then, when you're at the supermarket, they're like, do you want a receipt? Do you want a bag? Or this and that. Like, they'll just say those kind of things. So eventually over time, I'll memorize them saying those things, and I'll just either say like no or yes, or just hand my card over. So because we're in familiar scenarios over and over again, you can kind of just hear what their phrasing is and just kind of
know what they're asking you.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, like, again, she's a lot better at that stuff because languages is her day job. But for me, I'm just a blag artist. Yeah, but it's been fun. It's been really fun. But yeah,
Join us this week on Starting Strength Radio. We're here with our buddy Carl Raghavan. Carl's from the UK, and he's traveling around. He's been traveling for several years now. He just travels. He goes someplace and stays for 3 or 4 weeks, and then goes someplace else and stays for a couple of weeks, and then does it again and stays for 3 months. But he's on the road all of the time. He gets by online coaching and helping people in the gyms he's training at. And he's got some insights into traveling around that are going to be useful to you. And we're going to talk about writing and just whatever else comes to mind. But it's a good conversation, and you need to sit here Friday and watch this interview with Carl Raghavan on Starting Strength Radio.